Good evening and welcome to another weekly edition of Everything Vaguely Paranormal. I am Ryan Roberts and these are my partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Miss Shelley Pruitt. How are you guys doing today?
Very well.
Doing pretty good. Y'all aren't in store for this one tonight.
I have no idea what's about to happen this evening. We've already been told to grab a bottle.
I do.
And we are ready.
Yeah, here we are.
This is a requirement of this guest. So we aim to please. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
So guys, we actually have a very special guest this evening. He is a comedian. He is a videographer. He is the host of Peril with an Abnormal Podcast and Peril with a Normal Show on BeaconTV, the one and only Michael Gagliano. Bring him up.
What's up, Michael?
What's up?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what the hell is on your hat?
Is that Wolverine?
Wolverine!
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I guess now that I've shown you that, I have to show you what my okay.
I don't want to see your boxers.
No, full disclosure.
Oh, shit.
So
okay.
There was a Battleship Supernatural Soiree. Ghosted Magazine put it on. I went to that dressed as Wolverine. I had a terrible blowout. It turned into an excellent talking point throughout the entire evening. But I did get it fixed. Okay, for anybody out there wondering, I did get it fixed. And I did a cruise. But I did get to do the cruise as I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
I actually saw those pictures online because I'm a fantastic stalker. I will stalk you incessantly. So just so you know, I'm one of your new stalkers. I hope you'll be one of mine. So it seems only fair.
Oh, I already love your furniture.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. So, and another, yes, I do this thing on my podcast called Spirits for the Spirits, which is why I always have a little something. So this right here, folks, is actually owned by Lil Wayne. So this is rum. This is a dark rum called Bamboo. I think it's just Bamboo. And what did you guys bring? Blake, start with you.
Fireball.
Fireball. And Ryan, what do you have?
1835 Texas peanut butter whiskey.
Way to be fucking weird, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there's always one.
That's true.
And he's usually it.
Yep.
Yeah, usually.
I don't have a regular shot glass.
That is awesome.
Oh, we were supposed to bring shot.
We were supposed to bring a shot
I'm going
glass.
to take mine straight to the dome, I guess.
Me too.
That's okay. I just
Very
do that
ladylike.
because I know at some point I'm going to get wasted. So,
All
right.
right. Well, cheers.
What are we drinking to?
Cheers. To the show. To everything
Hell yeah,
vaguely paranormal.
All right,
Cheers.
rock
All
on.
right.
Usually you have to pay extra on OnlyFans for that. Okay.
Usually. Yeah.
Good whiskey.
So why are we doing this again? Why are we taking a drink?
You know what? For me, the goal, anytime I do that, because I feel like it opens up a part of you that maybe you close off. And
No, that part should stay closed. It should stay closed.
Especially as a comedian, you find that a lot of people will serve drinks. A lot of that is because you're trying to get people out of their shell.
Right.
So I firmly believe in that. And I think it's the same thing with spirits. I think it helps them if they see that you're relaxed, maybe they're more relaxed too. Also, if you look at most business that's done in Japan is actually done over alcohol.
That seems like some very bad decisions could be made.
Yes. Well, they did wind up bombing Pearl Harbor, so I get it. Not every idea is a great one, okay, folks?
So, Michael, were you actually a stand-up comedian? Because I was a stand-up comedian for 5 years, so I was just curious. Did you actually ever do stand-up?
So, funny story, no. I have not. So I actually got my start, I guess, from a radio show originally called The Rockin' Comedy Show in Las Vegas. And that grew, and then eventually it became, when everything went to streaming and video, it became a video show. I've interviewed people like Sinbad, Howie Mandel, Journey, John Lovitz, who is an asshole, by the way.
Okay, Is he like a real asshole, or is he just like a play asshole? Because
No.
you can't tell. It seems like with him.
No, he's a real asshole, and it sucked.
Oh, that does
Okay?
suck.
Because I was such a huge fan,
Mm-hmm.
and he came to this event. So, okay, my buddy and I, Jay Bird, the former owner, he passed away, unfortunately, at congestive heart failure.
Oh.
Thank you for that.
Way to bring the show down. It was a moment of silence right there.
So a moment of silence for our friend. Okay, so we'll drink more from later. We do this charity, we do celebrity go-kart race every year.
That sounds awesome.
It was a blast. And we had Anthony Cools and this guy by the name of, it's been so long since I've said his name.
Words are hard. It's okay.
He's the pit bull of comedy.
Not Joey Diaz.
I got to Google it.
Oh man,
He had a.
I know
he
exactly.
had
I
a
can
show.
see his face. I just can't think of his name. He's skinny with a beaky nose and gray hair that's spiky.
Yeah, Bobby Slayton.
Oh,
Bobby
okay.
Slayton, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know you're talking about.
So, and we invited Bobby Slayton down, and he calls us, and he goes, "Hey, guys," because that's how he sounds.
That's how he sounds.
Hey, John Levis wants to come. We were like, okay, well, he knows we're filming though, so let him know, he's allowed to come, we won't charge him anything. He can be a part of it. It'll be great, fun, but just let him know that we are filming for a show. Okay, fine. Cool. Shows up, and then first off, he walks past us and then hands us like his jacket, like we work there.
Technically, you do.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He was like, aren't you supposed to like get me in my go-kart? I'm like, no, bro, you're here for me. Like, we're a rock and comedy show. Like, we literally have an interview with you tomorrow. Like at the Excalibur, we're coming to the Excalibur to interview you. Like, we're those guys. Ow. And then like he refused. He keeps putting like the magazine up. He's got like bad like psoriasis of the arms.
Ew.
And like, yeah, and he was wearing like a sleeveless shirt. So I'm like, maybe he was just like embarrassed at first.
Maybe he needs to put his jacket back on.
Right. And then like we start the race, right? And he goes like 10 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
There was a video online, you can find it, of that race. And you'll just see him like putting along, right? So after that, he actually canceled our interview. So I never got a chance to interview him. Yeah. And I loved him.
Way to screw up the race, John.
So the character of Jay Sherman from The Critic is not far from exactly who he is.
Yeah. He came in and was like, be yourself.
And you got Jay Sherman.
Yes. And in 2010, I actually interviewed Zach Bagans.
Oh, okay.
Bagand, whatever his name is.
Zach.
I interviewed him too. Yeah.
Bilbo, yes.
Zachary, yes.
Nice.
It was an interesting. I know there's mixed. The line is drawn between where people feel on good old Zachary, and he wasn't the friendliest person. Okay, but all of the people around him that came in, they were just so amazing and so nice. So they really made up for it, and that was really cool. And I'm in Vegas. He's got his
museum.
I call it Bag End, but yeah, he's got his museum. So, how are you?
So you start off in comedy. How do you get drug into our world?
So okay.
Do you need another drink?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I feel like this is a loaded question a bit.
So I mentioned my buddy passes away. But at that time, I was doing the rock and comedy show. I also had my own show. At the time, I had Mad Mike's High Power Hour, the only 2-hour show that was 15 minutes long. And then I had another show called Two Clueless Dudes with a buddy of mine named Phil. And our show kind of had come to a screeching halt when he passed away because it was his studio, it was his network, it was his everything. So we were like, oh man, what do we do? So we kind of took like a little hiatus for a while, decided to relaunch. But when we did the relaunch, I was like, I don't want to just do the same old thing. I want to be creative. I want to be different. But I said, I just don't know. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's just something's going to come to me and it's going to be amazing. Go backwards about 8-10 years. I meet Mary Lynn, right? I meet Mary Lynn while I'm doing the Rock and Comedy Show. Mary Lynn Bass is my co-star, and she is a psychic medium, and she approaches myself and my wife on one of those rarities, had decided to come with me to the show while we filmed live. And she approaches my wife and she says, you know, you don't know who I am, and I have no reason to be in part of your business, but I think somebody very close to you, possibly your mother, is very sick, and they're going to die in 3 days, 3 months, I don't know what it is. And we were like,
holy shit.
no, I'm kidding. So that's the truth. So it just so happens that her mother was very sick and actually winds up dying that night or that morning at 3 a.m.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That blew my mind. So she was very sick. It was her time. You know, sometimes you're just like,
Right.
why are you holding on? Right.
Right.
This was one of those instances. So it was really a blessing for the mom. Honestly, she wasn't doing good.
Mm-hmm.
So it blew my mind, and I did not get along very well with my wife's mother.
Obviously, you did this. Yeah.
So I had called into her show to kind of talk about it, and we had given Jay our old couch, which the mother had slept on. And refused. So the mother didn't want to leave the couch, didn't want to take a bath, didn't want to do anything, right? So
okay.
One of just things tied to it. We just wanted to get rid of it. So Jay was like, I'll take it. So we gave it to my buddy Jay, who's doing the Rock and Comedy Show.
Mm-hmm.
And I called to tell Mary Lynn, I said, hey, you know, he's got that couch in there, and I think, you know, her presence might still be around. So I decided the only way to help her find this new couch was this is the truth. I left a trail of McDonald's double cheeseburgers all the way to his door from my house.
How far away did he live?
A couple miles. There was a lot of cheeseburgers. Okay? There's some bum out there going, score, right?
Best day ever.
Yeah. Some crackhead is like, what is going on today?
Did it work?
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
But it wound up ending her show. She was laughing so violently that she could no longer speak and had to end her show because it was just not what she has never been around like a comedian like that. And it was a little too much. So after that, we just kind of hit it off. We don't talk for a while. She helps me kind of cleanse my house at some point. Years go by. She helps me clean my house, sage it. You know what I mean? You do the whole sagey thing. And
right.
I do not like the smell of sage. I don't like it. And I really hate lavender. Some people
I do too. Lavender smells like old lady asshole. I hate the smell of lavender.
It smells like anger and regret, and I hate it.
It does.
Hate it. So
I'm with you.
So she winds up moving to Texas.
Lucky her.
Yes. So now here I am in the present, trying to decide what to do with my show. I'm with my buddy Phil, and I just happened to call her out of the blue to talk about some stuff. And she says, hey, I'm doing this paranormal convention in Deadwood, South Dakota.
Oh, so cool.
Why don't you come down and check it out, see what it's all about? I was like, I've never really put any stock, into the paranormal. We can joke about it, and I think we've all had experiences that we can't quite define and explain, but I'd never really thought about it as an enterprise, right?
Right.
But that's what it is. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I got in my car. I drove all the way to South Dakota. Had the time of my life. I met. That was where I met Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis. Now, you must understand. I know No one. I know no one. I know nothing. I had no idea either one of them, like that Shane was on 28 Days Haunted. Oh, no. Yeah, 28 Days Haunted
Yes.
and Holzer Files.
Yes.
Didn't even know what those were. So I meet a bunch of people. The Ghost Biker.
I'm not familiar.
You got me. I wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great. For some reason, maybe it's the Bumbu, but I can't remember her name, but she's amazing. I'll find it. And I meet a bunch of other Horn Paranormal. They were fantastic. It was really cool to get to meet them. I met Mary Lynn. That was when I got kind of reconnected with Mary Lynn. And what's that? Miranda. Yeah, her name is Miranda.
I'm glad you got help on that. I would have been
Yes.
worried all night.
So it was awesome, right? And I have my first EVP session, and it was so I dressed up like a Ghostbuster first off,
Awesome.
and with a fake mustache because I think it made me look just more professional.
I'm all about a good costume. I'm here for it.
Yes, I love costumes. I think they're
Me
amazing.
too.
So, and it was the EVP session that actually like hooked me. Because I do the EVP session and it gets weird. Because it's the first time I've ever done one. I can't hear anything. It's just the sound, and all he tells you is just you put the muffs on and then you call out whatever sound you hear, right?
Oh,
Whatever
you did an
hear.
Estes method.
Oh, I mean Estes. See, I don't know anything. I know nothing. So Estes method. That's what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who's asking the question? I think you blindfolded too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, blindfolded
Yes.
And then,
with headphones on. Yeah.
Yeah. And Shane is asking me questions, right? And it was pretty crazy, right? Once that is done, we move on. We go from there, that was in the third floor. Anybody that's interested, that was on the third floor of the Bullock Hotel in Deadwood.
Okay.
After that, in fact, here, this is it right here. Yes. Is there anything you want to tell us? Is what he says here. I'm just gonna play this.
Tell us anything you'd like. Yes. Okay. What would you like to tell us? God is dead.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Now I freaked out because I don't know what he
Right.
asked,
Right.
and I'm just calling out the words that I hear. Okay. So after that, I was like, that was crazy. And nobody told me what I had said until like almost a week later, right? Until I actually got the footage.
Right.
We move on to the brothel. There's a brothel there, and my zipper gets ripped off my pants.
Oh shit.
It's into my hand. And at that point, I'm like, man, this place is nuts. This is so cool, right? And then it turns out on the next people that show up to do the EVP, whoever they're talking to keeps asking for Mike. Problem is, nobody knew who I was. So Shane was like, we don't know who Mike is. Nobody knows.
Right.
So Mary Lynn is the one who's like, Mike is the Ghostbuster guy. And he's like, oh, wow, okay. So after the end of all of the night, she tells me about this. I'm like, oh man, if somebody was asking for me and they wanted to talk to me, then I feel obliged to let them know that I'm still around. So I go back up and, I just basically say, hey, thanks for talking about me. Cause I think it was a kid. I'm not sure. And I know nothing. Right. So I'm like, hey, I'm in room, blah, blah, blah. Come and hang out. You know what I mean? Let's Mary Lynn about blew her lid. She was like, no, you're not supposed to give them free reign like that, right? So
Bad idea, yeah.
I do all the time. That's
Right?
fine.
it's fine. So I had to be like, just kidding. So after that, my buddy Phil, he has some personal things that kind of go on with him, and he can no longer do Two Clueless Dudes. And I hit up Mary Lynn. And I was like, I know you were talking about doing a podcast. Are you serious? She was like, yeah, I really want to do it. I'm like, freaking let's do it. So we launched a podcast called PSYDkicks, PSY, PSYDkicks Paranormal. And I decided to promote it in Virginia City about 4 months later, something like that. Mm-hmm. But Mary Lynn can't go. Only I can go. But that's fine. So I pay for a sponsorship. I drive up to Virginia City, Nevada. I'm in Las Vegas. So it's like a 7-hour drive-ish.
Yeah.
And I don't know, again, I know nobody there except, ta-da, there's Josh Purvis and Shane Pittman. Or no, just, were they both there? Or just Shane? Might have just been Shane, actually. And while I'm there, he's having this, he's kind of doing like this presentation where he's talking about his life and how rough it is and just how it's helped him kind of grow throughout the years. And I just had like this crazy like epiphany, right? So after it's all done, I say, hey, Shane, I know you get pitched stuff probably all the time, fact that you do this whole, you've been on TV and stuff. I said, but I really do have a cool idea. He was like, all right, well, let's hear it. So I basically pitch and I lay out Para with the Normal, which is basically the story of, a psychic investigator / medium psychic paranormal investigator pro, Mary Lynn, and an idiot. Right? And it's one idiot's journey to see, can a normal person who is just, vaguely interested,
right,
can you go and get answers? Because if you watch TV, and this is what I did after I met Shane, I watched his shows. I watched Zach Baggins take the ring to Mordor. Okay. I watched these things and I said, man, they make it seem like everything is scary. Everything is demons, right? I'm like, there's no way that could be how it is. And I'm talking to like normal people and they're like, no, I don't, that's not for me. I don't want to do anything like that. So I'm like, there's got to be another way. So I wanted to, my journey is to show that you're more likely to find semen than a demon. Okay.
Very, very true.
And B, it's called positive energy for a reason.
That's right.
Right. It's still an energy. And I think, just when the rest of our show comes out, you guys will see, we get so much happen. A lot of it, we don't even get to react to or investigate because that's not really what our show is about. If you want to see like a true investigation show, I'm sure you guys probably have a show like that, right? Or you can watch, the Searchers, Josh and Shane's show, or you can watch Brian and Rochelle. There are shows that are dedicated to that very serious type of investigation. That's not our show. My show is to show you that you could go into a place and you could have a wonderful experience and a wonderful time and learn and be yourself. And that's kind of what my show was about.
And that's basically what we do is we go in and we have fun. And yeah, we'll get serious.
Do you, Shelley?
I have a blast, Michael. I have an absolute blast. I have more fun than anybody else. And but whenever it's time to get serious, we get serious. But for the most part, oh crap, here we go.
All right, here we go again.
Okay. This is what happens. All right. Are you ready?
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
To having fun with ghosts.
With ghosts. Okay. All right. Let's see how long I stay on the reels. Okay. No, we tell people that all the time. Be yourself. Have fun. Because if you go in with a good attitude, you're more than likely going to attract good things that come to you.
Yeah,
they're going to be curious because you're not walking going, how did you die? What is your name? I walk in and go, who wants to have a drink? Come and have a drink with me.
Yeah, not everything needs to be so friggin' dour, in the paranormal world.
Wow, nobody asked you, Ryan. Okay. No, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And while I was in Rock Island, I actually gave a presentation. It was actually the first time that somebody had actually made the mistake of allowing me to speak. But it was great. And I talk a lot about one, how comedy can kind of one, how comedy is born in tragedy to begin with.
Mhm.
Okay.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
It really does.
Right.
My classic example, Blake, did you go to school?
No, yeah, I did.
No. What was the last grade you did?
12.
Third.
12th?
Yeah.
So you made it to 12th grade. Ryan, how about you, buddy?
Graduated high school and went to college.
And you went to college.
Yeah.
Shelly?
College graduate. 2
College.
minors.
Well, hell, I didn't know we were going all the way to college. Yeah, I'm a college graduate as well.
Okay, so you did college too?
Yeah.
My last official grade of school was the 6th.
Really?
Yep, that is true. I took a home study test after that. So technically I made it to the 7th grade. But when you do that test specifically, they pull you in a room, they give you this piece of paper, and they go over all your results. And your results aren't based. So when you take that test, the test isn't based on the curriculum of just the 6th grade. It's based on the curriculum of the entirety of the education board from basically K through 12. So they pull me in and they say, okay, Mike, well, you graduated. You graduated 7th grade, but your scores are concerning because you're actually collegiate level in everything, except math. Math, you came in at 5th grade.
You don't need that. Screw math.
Yeah, no, me and math don't get along either, so no worries.
And I said, thank you for that. Because at the time, life was a little rough. My dad had left when I was 2. My mom was, moving around a lot. She was in Florida at the time, and would be there for quite a while, for a year or so. So I needed to take care of myself at that point. And I got a job working at a church. I delivered flyers. I put flyers on people's cars. I
would have hated you.
That was you.
That was me. But you have to understand, it sucked for you guys, but for me, it was the only way I could eat.
Sure.
Well, then I'll forgive you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that, because I didn't make much. So you only get a percentage of whatever is donated for the week. So sometimes I would make like $5. Sometimes I would make $10. Sometimes I would make change, like 73 cents. There would be weeks where sometimes nothing comes in and you make 0. And there would be times. So we had, for example, I used to shop at a place called Grocery Outlet. And for this exact reason, I do not eat leftovers, period. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I used to shop at a place called Grocery Outlet, which I think are still actually big, like in the East Coast, but here they're pretty much gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it was where you could go to get food that had gone past its sell-by date, but wasn't technically expired. So you could get things like just starting to mold bread and peanut butter for like 50 cents.
Goodness.
Yeah. At the church, we had a what do they call it? A toaster oven. So I mean, that's what I would live on. And on Sundays, they would make a big meal, and that would be my big meal for the week. And I remember one week we didn't make any money. I ate on Sunday, and we don't get paid until Friday. And here we are on Wednesday, and I was pretty hungry by the time Wednesday came around. And this is also on me. I always had an issue asking for help, right? Because I've always been fiercely independent. My mom and my mom has come back in my life, and I love my mom. Same thing with my father. He's passed away, unfortunately, but he did come back into my life at some point. I'll get to that. But I remember sitting, and this is a lesson to anyone out there that's watching that's having a hard time right now. Okay, I was sitting on a corner of Sahara and Maryland Parkway in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I lived on Maryland Parkway when I lived in Nevada, in Vegas.
That's awesome. So you know the area.
I do. That was called Crack Alley whenever I lived there.
Yes. So this would have been mid-90s. I am 14, 15 years old, and hadn't eaten in a few days. And I'm sitting there on the corner. It's a terrible Herbst gas station with a McDonald's inside. And I'm seeing people come in and out from the McDonald's. I'm like, man, I bet you if I just asked somebody, maybe even just for some fries, I bet you they would give me some.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to get up to go and ask somebody, hey, is it okay if I have some of your fries? And I don't know what it was, but I looked at my hands and I said, man, if I can't figure out a way to make it with my own 2 hands, then there's absolutely no way that I earned it. I didn't eat till Friday. And when I got paid, I went right to my 7-Eleven. I got a cheeseburger bite. I got a candy bar and I got a big gulp, and it was the best meal I've ever had. Okay. But at the time, to me, it was normal, right? Like I do not feel sorry for myself. I don't think anybody else should feel sorry for myself. There is no blame. There's nobody you could blame. And it sucks, especially for ghosts, right? And this is what kind of transitions us back to the paranormal. When a ghost passes, when a person passes, a lot of times we focus on the tragedy, right? Mm-hmm. But comedy is born through tragedy. So yes, this tragedy happened, but so much more to that person's life has existed that they never get asked about.
Right.
Right? Do you have a favorite color? Do you have a hobby? Did you like to laugh? What did you do before this? No, instead it's, I saw you fell down the stairs. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, why would you want to keep reliving that? Tell me about the mistress you had, or tell me about that. Yeah, your train set you got when you were 4. Tell me about that stuff.
Right, and we wonder why they get pissed off because we're asking them about the worst parts of their life
over and over and over again. Listen to your EVPs, folks. You're gonna realize, wow, they are boring as shit. You go, wow, I asked the same questions over and over again. I wouldn't like me. Right? Imagine if you were the ghost. I try to kill myself again. Right? So I truly believe that hopefully through positive energy, the next time you guys or any of your listeners decide to go out and do an EVP session or an Estes session, or anything, right? Even the dowsing rods, ask questions you wouldn't normally ask. Try to actually think of them as somebody that maybe you've already known, right? Instead of going in trying to sympathize, try to empathize. And there is a big difference between the two.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my 2 cents.
There you go.
I mean,
I'm here for it.
I agree. I mean, we've said countless times on the podcast, on the show, that you can't just go in and just be like, oh, how did you die? Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. I would just run away as well. Like that Shelly said, we go in having a party, having fun, laughing, carrying on with them, telling your mama jokes and all that crap to them. And it just seems like for whatever reason, that's why we are able to get the evidence that we get, is because we're just so chill and relaxed and just having a party and a fun time and a celebration instead of just boring drab over and over and over again that they probably answer 800 times already.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Ryan, during an Estes method, and I was leading him, and I was asking the brothel ladies, I'm like, ladies, who's the dirtiest, most disgusting dude you ever had to, do things with? How much money did it take? And Ryan screams out at me, eat cock. And so I was just like, I'm going,
headphones, man.
Yeah, so that was one of the dirtiest Estes methods we've ever had, but there was one more that was dirtier, and we were not asking any kind of conventional questions. I'm like, ladies, how much did you make? Hey, are you hiring? I mean, I'm a little old, but I'll take the job, so.
Hey, you still got that sexy blonde hair, you know what I'm saying?
That's
right. Sorry, my dog's trying to get my attention.
So there's something I wanted to ask you about earlier. You were talking about how, you're just the normal guy getting into the field. Oh, there it is. There's Dougie.
Sorry, so go ahead.
No, so you're talking about how you're just a normal guy getting into this field, and you talked about doing that Estes method the first time. When they put the blindfold on you and the headphones on you, were you like, what the fuck has happened? Or were you like, okay, this is kind of neat?
I was glad I had Vaseline in my pocket. Because I didn't know what was coming next.
It's always good to be prepared.
Like, why are they playing 9 Inch Nails in my headphones right now?
Yeah. I don't want to do that like an animal. it's really interesting because I think it's really easy for us as human beings to close ourselves off.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier to close yourselves off to something where you might that's new to you than it is for you to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And as Diddy would say, just accept it.
God damn it.
So, but I really,
Thank you, Kill Kelly.
She's God. I really do believe, based on when you get yourself into a situation that's new to you, especially in the paranormal field, don't shut yourself off. Don't shut yourself off. Accept that this could be a new role for you.
Right.
Accept that this could be a new way because you don't know what it's going to lead to, right?
Yeah.
And because I decided to say, hey, you know what? I'm putting my own. I'm not gonna be embarrassed. I'm not going to be prudish. I'm not going to shut myself off to this experience, even though there's a bunch of other people around me. I'm going to do everything I can to accept the environment and the situation I'm in, and I really want to participate. And the more you try to participate, the better off you are going to do in every session that you ever have in any type of haunted. Sometimes places that aren't even haunted, that you may not even realize are haunted, because I do believe that there's a lot of crossover traffic. I wouldn't be surprised if ley lines, right? That could be a thing. I don't know, right? So if that is, there could be traffic that you could just be picking up on and not even realize it. So just, I don't know, stay open. Like 7-Eleven.
I'm still stuck on Diddy. I'm sorry.
I mean,
absolutely.
I think you're absolutely right. Like if you are accepting and you're having a good time, they're going to see you're having a good time and they're going to want to come and speak to you even more. And you never know what you might unlock somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is another thing too. And we've actually been denied access for my show, Pair with the Normal, on BeaconTV.
Hey.
There you go. Nice plug.
Thank you. Well, we've actually been denied access to some locations because the second they hear the comedy, they immediately go to, okay, well, you're going to make fun of, you're going to be offensive. And that's not really the case. I try to look at the humor approach on the show. And anybody that's, in your audience that's probably seen my show, if any of them, my tens of fans that have, they'll let you know that it's really introverted. Right, it's introspective, is what I should say.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to be ironic and funny on my journey, not the journey that the ghost or the spirit or the entities have taken. Right. So you'll find even in the show, and even if you are having a good time out there, guys, and you're having a blast, you're drinking and having fun, you will feel when the energy needs to shift. Mm-hmm. You'll feel when you need to be respectful. You will feel when you need to, when there's a sense of, they call it like, I guess psychics like to say it feels heavy, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you can sense that, even if you're not, like, I don't have ESPN, right? But it doesn't mean I can't kind of get a grip of the area of the situation. Right. You can read the room, folks.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The writing's on the wall. You've heard that saying before. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with spirits. So I recommend always gauge that line. Always gauge that line and always do your best by the end to always be respectful. I've seen there. Fair enough. Some people, that's not their thing. Right. I think the Kling brothers, the Kling bros, Ghost Lab, they've made a living on, being more like aggressive, right? Like that's that's their approach. That doesn't mean it has to be yours. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
No, I think.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think that my thing is that when you're having those moments where it's more lighthearted and laughter and all that stuff, those help to lead to those more, okay, hey, it's time to focus. We got to get with it. Crap's happening. Crap's going down. Let's pull out the equipment and let's capture this shit. Because you're throwing that type of energy out there. They're just feeding off of that stuff. If you're not giving them some type of food to feed off of, you're not going to get shit. And so it's those people that are like, we're just going to go sit in this room and sit in the dark. And hey, if that works for you, I'm all for it. You know, you do your thing, but it's just not for us. Like we're going to laugh and carry on and cause hell. I mean,
and be in costume and run around and dance and do all kinds of crazy things and play music. And so, that I agree with that. But I will say this, that, you know, we're not the kind that walks in going, come at me, bro. That's not our thing. We don't think that's respectful. However, if they get out of line first, we will defend ourselves and we will shut them down and be like, no. You can't come in here and be like that. We're not going to, we don't want to talk to you. You go away until you learn to behave. Because we want to talk to the ones who need either help or just want to chat or just feel lonely and like, hey, you're having a party. Can I join? If you want to be ugly, shoo, you go be ugly somewhere else.
So and now that we've talked a little bit about entities, what do you guys, what's your opinion on aliens?
Oh,
hell yeah.
A can of worms. Well, if we talk aliens, I think that mostly what we're dealing with, to me, seems to be more interdimensional than from outer space, personally.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay, so first off, I think, space is too vast for there not to be interaction.
I agree.
Okay, so sure, I do believe that there's interdimensional travel and beings.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point to me would be a Bigfoot or Fae.
Right.
I think if those do exist, it would be some type of interdimensional, plane shifting or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens, I do believe that there are some that will come that way, but I think the ones that do the abductions and things of that nature.
Right.
I bet you they're right here on this prime plane. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just kind of at a neighboring star system and they come by, they roll up and we're like, hey, that guy looks
there
like
might be one right here on the screen with you.
I mean, how do you feel then about ultra terrestrials then?
The fuck do you say?
An ultra terrestrial. So basically,
what'd you call me?
You heard what I said.
So what is it? What is that?
So basically, it's something that exists on this plane that we just can't perceive. So say with our senses, we can only perceive 5% of what this plane is.
Sure.
However, outside of that 5%, these things do exist. We just don't have the ability to perceive them being here until they decide to show themselves.
So I get what you're laying down. I smell what you're stepping in, and I do think that there's cause for that. So, for example, we can't see in the ultraviolet.
Right.
Can't do it. However, we have equipment that can, and you'll notice even in some of the more popular shows, I think the Holzer files they pick up through via heat sensor, like a handprint, and they immediately think, well, hey, maybe that's like a ghost.
Right.
Maybe it's not. What if that is something more along the lines of alien? What if it isn't like alien tech or alien technology or just something what if they're not even trying to hide? They just don't understand why the hell we can't see them.
That's a good question.
Right?
I'm gonna have to agree with what you originally said though, Mike, because I believe that they're right here on this plane, right here with us in this dimension, sharing the space with us. The universe is way too.
There's too much
for there to be. Okay, I said something about dropping this in the middle of the podcast, but before the camera started rolling. I think it's funny that aliens get brought up because I'm watching Investigation Alien on Netflix right now. I'm in dead middle of it.
We have converted Blake.
Oh,
Blake
God,
used to not be an alien guy.
Yeah, we were the alien people.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hang on, one more.
Oh, shit.
We're getting heady. We got to take a sip.
That's it.
Oh, God. I just lost my lid.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh, bitches, leave. Oh, okay.
Oh, mine's getting hot.
Mine was a great banana afterbirth. Aftertaste. Sorry.
Michael, that's aftertaste.
Still delicious.
But anyways, no, I don't know if you've watched it or not. It's on Netflix, recently just dropped, 6 episodes long. It's got George Knapp in it, who I absolutely love. And I mean, he goes deep into this shit. I mean, basically it's telling them that he's like, yeah, you know, I've covered this since the 80s. He's covered UFOs and aliens and stuff since then. And he's like, the government's going to sit here and tell you they're not real. They can't exist, and all this stuff. And he's like, but I have friends who work in the government who are willing to come forward and give me documents to do all this stuff. Boom, here it is. And he's throwing it all on the screen. He's showing you these videos that you're just like, wow, how can that be faked? They're cell phone videos from the actual cell phone, not put up on the screen, but showing on the cell phone. You know, I'm like, wow, you know, it's just mind blowing. I don't know. For me, I can't see them. Ryan, I know, believes there's like some interdimensionality to it. And phasing in and out and stuff. For me, I think it's
here's the thing, though.
Plane.
What if you're both kind of found like a weird happy medium and don't even realize it? What if it is?
And I am an alien,
but
so
what if
I
it's
already know the
interdimensional just to stay on the same plane?
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be how they travel. They could just pop between dimensions to travel faster.
Just to travel, but they could still be somewhere in this universe.
Right. Could be.
Right, that is still a possibility, right?
Absolutely. You know, like I think, like you said, I think it could be a bit of both, because I think that maybe there is something that is coming from another planet. But the reason I say interdimensional is because, like you mentioned, Bigfoot. So if you have a lot of cryptid sightings, for some reason around a lot of Bigfoot sightings, there tend to be a lot of UFO sightings as well, and there tend to be a lot of you know, sometimes there's a lot of poltergeist activity, so something is like being disturbed somehow.
You just kicked that cage.
Yeah.
This is the hornet's nest that you just
so I think that's why I say interdimensional most of the time, but I do think there also is something that could be coming from outer space. However, interdimensional is kind of where I lean.
Look, and you've also, at that point, you also have to look into time folding and the ripples that make, and the fact that maybe what you're experiencing is something that maybe even hasn't happened yet, but was so consequential that you feel it then and now.
Could be.
I mean, right?
Time
and
can we just take yourself all at one time? You know?
We need to take a moment. We need to take a moment and appreciate Shelley Pruitt's eyes. They are gorgeous. And Ryan's. Look at those.
Well, thank you.
Look at those baby blues you guys have. What color are yours?
Huh?
You've got like bluish eyes too, or something.
Yes.
We're
all three the aliens. Yes.
I'm the only one that looks like I got pooped on.
Thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it.
Of course. But I mean, so there's a lot to the alien movement, and to that matter, I think also to the paranormal movement in the shape or form of ghosts, right? Because we don't actually know where they go, where they come from. We don't know if they're stuck in a loop. We don't know if they're stuck in a circuit. We don't know if they choose to stay in the locations that they stay in. If just think of it for a second. Here you are, Ryan Roberts. You're dead. You got kicked in the head by a horse and are stuck on a farm. I mean, how long do you truly want to hang around?
I don't, because why would I hate being on a farm.
Even if the horse maliciously intent said, "I got you, sucker," and then kicked you in the head, and it was a violent, terrible, traumatic experience. I mean, at some point you're going to be like, well, you know, I'm going to go get a Slurpee or something. Like,
now, I ain't going to lie to you. I might pop back in periodically and fuck with that horse, but I'm going to get
that sounds dirty.
Right.
But
fuck with context with.
Okay.
So
that is going to be later.
I can't wait to clip that out and put it as a YouTube
That's
short.
right.
So it makes you wonder, what are they doing with their off time?
Right.
Where do they go? What's actually happening, right? So I have a theory, if you guys are interested.
Absolutely.
Well, I can't say theory, more of a hypothesis, right? Because it can't be a theory for being a hypothesis. Right. So I believe there's a possibility, I'm Italian.
Okay. I love me some Italians.
Well, hello.
Wait, I thought you were French. Your last name's DuPont.
Well, yes, that's true. That's only for today. But anybody that's looking for my show, my name is Mike G. Gagliano. I never use the same name. Sorry, I'm like reversed, so I keep looking like the wrong directions. But
you're fine.
Look that way to look at you.
Right? Yeah, I go this way. That's weird.
Hey, baby.
So I believe that First off, do you, Blake Smith, believe in past lives?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Shelly?
Yes.
Okay. Do you, Blake, currently have a pet?
Yes.
Give me a name.
Gabby.
Okay. Ryan, do you have a pet?
No.
Have you ever had a pet?
Oh yeah.
Give me a name.
Buddy.
Okay. Shelly, you got a pet?
No.
Have you ever had a pet?
Yes.
Give me a name.
Roxy.
Okay. In your past life before this, give me your pet's name. Okay. So the reason why I bring that up is because a pet is so emotionally attached to you. I guarantee you when those pets have died or passed, it tug at every one of your heartstrings.
Oh yeah.
Right? You feel it. You're so emotionally connected, so emotionally powerful that it actually causes you physical pain. Yet you cannot, for the life of you, remember it. And I guarantee you, in every single life you've ever lived, you've had one. So why can you not remember something so significant? This is my theory, or hypothesis, I should say.
Okay.
I believe that when you pass, you leave like a snake sheds its skin. You leave every single facet of that life behind, so it can stay attached to everything else that it was important for.
Okay.
Grandchildren, generations, farm, location, ancestors, whatever. It stays while you go on and continue to create something new. However, just like a snake, sometimes little bits of skin can get stuck to your body. And I think those are the memories. I think those are the things that we pick up on. A prodigy on the piano.
Okay.
A memory. Oh yeah, I can remember. I can remember. Me personally, I swear to you, I can remember like it was yesterday, looking out over a desert landscape, watching men carry just pounds and pounds and pounds of bricks and sacks along a chain. I'm sitting on a pedestal, covered. I'm important, but not that important, just kind of important. I can see a cat. I can see my hand. I can't tell you who's next to me. I know there's somebody there. I know I'm light-skinned, but not too light, not as light as I am now, but close. I can see what looks like a pyramid, so I can tell you I'm Egyptian, but I don't know my name. I don't know that cat's name. I don't know those people. I don't know who's next to me. I don't know anything, but I can remember that instant in time, and that's it. So why? That's my theory. Hypothesis.
It's very interesting that you say something like that, because I too have an Egyptian connection with something.
Nobody cares, Blake.
Okay, fine. Hey, I run the buttons to the show. I care. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways,
Continue, good sir.
No, I mean, I also have the Egyptian connection, and it's very much exactly like you say. It's why my arm is covered in like nothing but Egyptian stuff. It's because that connection has for the longest time stuck with me, of this just memory of running down the streets. And what I know is ancient Egypt. I too can see the pyramid in the distance. I can see the row of houses. I don't know who I am. I am also light skinned, a little darker than I am now because I'm vampire white. I am.
I was going to talk to you about that, but
Yeah, you fucking corpse.
Yeah, pretty much a fucking corpse. I think that's why I attract them. But anyways, the ghost, not the corpse.
You got me.
This is
gonna
be all full of bloopers whenever we get done with this. But anyways, no, and so I'm with you on that. Being like just that little, it just sticks with you. Why do I remember that? Why is it so vivid that I know how the sun feels? I know what the smells were, but I cannot tell you who I was or who these people are in the street or anything like that.
And then you look at psychic mediums, right? Who can take a look at you and say, oh, this person were connected to you in the past, and they're trying to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's true, but it's also impossible, because if we relive lives, right? And let's go back to the Egyptian period. How many people were on Earth? How many bodies, physical bodies, were on Earth?
Yeah.
1 billion? There's 8 billion now?
Yeah.
There's no time. There's too many bodies. You've got to keep going. So make that make sense. And I think the only way that it does, to me, is how I have kind of described it. We have the ability, the power to leave everything that we have, everything that we've learned, every piece of that here. And while we move on and create something new. Because I don't know if you're religious, I'm not specifically, but I do know that God says we are created in his image.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that means that's if God were created in his image, to me, that's something that I feel like he would be able to do. So that, I don't know, makes sense to me a little bit.
It does. I mean, I think you have a really interesting theory. I really do. But a question I do have for you as part of that theory is the things that we leave behind.
Yes.
Do you think that those can become sentient and be something we're interacting with?
Absolutely. I think that's part of the point. I think it's only sentient to an extent. And that's why they are in an area. You know, why do you go to a haunted house and there's these ghosts? Because that is where they are programmed to go. Okay. That was your instructions. When you're done, you're just like, hey, these are the people you can interact with. This is what you do. This is where you go. Be me.
Huh. No, I totally.
I'm liking this. Like, I liking the way. I love your thought process on it.
You've also been drinking.
Yes, but this is actually something that I gave on my lecture. Is the information that I'm passing on to you is not anything that I'm just kind of thinking of off the spot. This is something that has percolated in my mind for some time, and it actually started with. Do you know Sarah Lemos?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sarah Lemos, yeah.
Yep. Yes, we like her.
Started with her. I was talking to her, and I asked her to describe how she views what she does, and she had mentioned that it was like a mirror or like a window. And on the other side of that window is everyone that's ever been attached to you that she can see and she can interact with, that want to interact with you. And then it hit me. It doesn't make sense. It's impossible. And my mind, being my weird ass mind, started to kind of create. And this is what my solution was that allowed me to believe that she is correct in what she does, but then this is also what is happening as well.
So you're basically hypothesizing that you're leaving your original soul behind and you're forming a new soul.
Yeah.
With every incarnation, every time you're reincarnated, I believe in soul growth. I believe you have to keep coming back till you get it right. So you keep pieces of this, which is how you explain it, Einstein and Mother Teresa. That's how you explain it, is that you have to keep coming back until you get it right, and then you finally get to rest.
Think of it as a kid. When you have a child, Shelley, that is still part of you.
Right.
It has all of your bits and pieces.
Unfortunately,
but it's not actually you. But you'll notice that they can keep some of your traits and attributes. Why couldn't that be the same spiritually?
God, that makes
sense.
I don't think I've ever put that kind of analogy together between like a mother and her child and childbirth and soul.
Are you making us drink again for real?
No, you don't have to.
Oh God, okay. I was here for it.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We reached our hour, so, but I'm good to keep going as long as you guys are. I'm sure you have more questions.
He's going. Okay, it's time to get off here now. These fuckers.
No. Like I said, I've got nowhere to be.
Let's go.
Still got viewers. I think they may be asking questions. I'm here to answer any questions they may have.
Blake, why don't you throw some questions up there for him? You know they've got questions.
No, we just really have some comments that are agreeing with what he's saying right now.
Okay.
Well, I think it's one of those things where I think we all have like this willingness to believe, right? I think it's why we do what we do. And I think the second you decide to, the second you go, no, that's not right. It is the second that your career, your creativity ends.
Right.
Right.
Especially as somebody who runs a podcast, you do investigations. And here's the other thing. You guys, I'm sure you use equipment, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why?
To validate what you're feeling, what you're picking up on.
Right.
Ryan, same answer?
Same answer, yeah.
Blake?
That's pretty much, we're all in agreement on that for validation purposes.
Why do you need validation?
I don't, but the viewing public does.
Right.
And that's so it's not really so much for validation, it is strictly for entertainment. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, right? You don't really need to prove. You want to show for your own sake, for their sake, hey, look, there's stuff out here, man. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not that you need validation, because it's not that people don't, nobody's coming out here saying Ryan Roberts is full of shit, man.
Oh, I do all the time.
Maybe we're Shelley. Maybe we're Shelley. But so it's not that you need validation. It's not that nobody believes you, right? It's just you want to share your experience.
Right.
Right.
I think equipment helps us share that experience better than a one-on-one, right? Because to be honest, anytime I do my and you'll watch my show, every time I do my show, as the episodes come out, you'll realize I use one piece of equipment, but it's always I try to use a different piece of equipment each time to kind of show how they work, right?
Mhm.
Because again, I don't know how anything works. I'm stupid, so I'm trying to figure it all out. So it's not that I'm using it for my own validation. I'm almost using it more to just say, look, you can't experience what I'm experiencing through my eyes and my ears, through my mind, right? But through this instrument, you, I, myself, Blake, Ryan, Shelley, we can all see that instrument and how it works, and we all can agree that it works the exact same way. And that kind of is the benefit there to equipment, at least in my mind.
Right.
Well, I will tell you that if you use a lot of equipment, you are going to come across a piece of equipment that you favor or you prefer. That gives you that seems to agree with you whenever you're getting certain feelings or anything like that. And like mine is the spirits box. I like to hear them talk. I like to hear their voice. I like to be able to get context. If they sound angry, I want to kind of be like, hey, I'm not trying to make you mad. If they sound happy or playful, I want to keep playing. But that's my favorite, because I like to hear the tone and the context. Now, Ryan, what's your favorite one?
I mean, spirit box as well, because I like to be able to have that real time interaction to go off of whatever they say, at the tone and inflection and stuff like that. I know what I'm dealing with.
I feel like I understand better that way.
Cool.
Right.
And Blake?
Yeah. Spirit dice.
Spirit dice?
Spirit
Oh,
dice.
have you never heard of spirit dice, Michael?
No. Can you show me what they are?
Sure
Yes,
can.
he
If you
probably
give me 2
can.
seconds.
Yeah, go get it.
Yeah. Well, while he's grabbing that, what's your favorite?
I'll tell you what mine is.
Okay.
I like the dowsing rods.
Okay.
Those are my favorite because I get, for some reason, in my hands, I get instant reaction.
Right.
And it's always strong. So I like that a lot, because I feel like we as humans love instant gratification, and I feel like I get that from the dowsing rods,
And see, I don't use dowsing rods because I don't want anything that I can touch or manipulate. I want to be able to set it over there and walk away and see what happens.
That's
that way
cool.
There's no manipulation on my side. I mean, I'm not going to make something that's sweeping backwards through 100 radio stations. Tell me
Shelley,
the answer I'm looking for.
Are you psychic, Shelley?
Why do you ask me that? No,
you're not at all.
I don't claim anything. No.
Don't look for you. She's got something
Why?
going on.
Because I think that you are.
Okay.
But if you're not, that's okay. If you're not, that's okay. Don't listen to me.
I don't claim anything. I don't claim anything because I think you have to know how to use something in order to be able to claim it, and I don't know how to use what I've got.
I'm just saying, out of all the channels on the TV, you definitely have paid for ESPN. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Ryan, do you feel like you're connected psychically into anything?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like I can, like you said, that when you feel that heavy feeling when you walk into somewhere, you can kind of feel the temperature of the room.
Yeah.
I can do that.
And I can find that room.
Yeah.
And you can find, so there you go.
I can find that room.
Blake, what about you, buddy?
Yeah. I deal with energies a lot. Mine is more or less being able to know, I guess when something changes, something walks into the room or something is there. Shelly can get us there. Ryan's pretty much kind of directed in that direction. And then I can pretty much kind of say, yeah, you've got something in here, female, male, something like that. That's really about it. And I would also say kind of tie in with tools that use energy, which brings us to the spirit dice.
Yeah, this is the gayest thing you're going to hear me say, but whip out your dice, buddy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go. I think you need to drink on that, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Mike, why do you ask first off before we? Why do you ask?
Wait, Mike has to have a drink. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important. I think it's important not only for you as individuals, but for your viewers too, to understand that intuition. Salute. Intuition is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we as psychic investigator or as paranormal investigators, we need to appreciate and trust our intuition.
Yeah.
Right?
I totally agree with that.
And I think a lot of people out there, they don't trust that. They want to argue, right? They want to debate their own intuition. Don't, right? Because that brings us right back to Diddy. Just go with it. Okay. You have to trust your intuition. I think it's really important.
All right, so these are spirit dice. What it is now, this is the set that I picked up from Broadhead Manor, and that's the first place that.
Oh, from Broadhead?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, did you try Bill's nuts?
Oh yeah.
Bill's nuts have been in my mouth
many
so
times.
Good.
Many times.
Did he show you what I got him for his birthday?
Yeah, we were there.
He did actually, and he modeled them for us, and he loved them, and he said, "Thank you very much."
Yeah.
So I when I went to Broadhead, I wore those.
Yes, he told us.
I did not know he was gay. I did not know that he was. I didn't know that he was in a relationship because that's just me. Because I don't really. I don't have that.
You don't care.
I don't. I honestly don't. So I was so awesome that he was just so like open and fun, and Broadhead is probably one of the coolest places you'll ever get to experience. So anyone out there who has not been to Broadhead, please go. Paranormal Rockdown, check it out. It's going to be amazing. July, right? July?
Yep.
We just got back. That's literally we got back from Broadhead yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love the place, and I love Bill and Ron, right? Ron?
Yeah,
Ron?
Bill and Ron.
Are amazing.
So amazing, dude. Okay, so show me how these dice work. That's
right,
great. Okay, so anyways, so Ryan, no, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So I mean, it's a set of dice that Ron actually made, and
It looks like Scrabble.
Basically,
Exactly.
That's what it is. Shelley has a really good definition of how they work. Is essentially they've got letters on them, as you can tell, like that's letter F, and then I've got 13 of them in each set.
Is it Is it every letter, all 26 letters, or
three times through?
3 times now. So I would say this: the ones that I picked up at Broadhead, I just picked up on a whim, started throwing them, immediately started getting direct answers, full words spelled out in the dice, and I just kind of looked at Shelley and I was like, I don't know if I just found something that I'm connecting with, and turns out that I did.
Sure.
So I have 13 dice. The set from Broadhead goes to the alphabet. I believe it's 3 times, something like that. And I was getting really good with them. Basically, the way that they work, I pick them up, I do my own little thing, chant, prayer, spell, whatever you want to call it.
What do you mean by that? Expand on that for me.
I have a little saying that I say that kind of helps for protection for anything that's going to be trying to communicate with me to keep anything negative from because I consider myself a conduit at that point. I'm the connection between that side and this side.
Just like in an Estes method.
This tool right here is how we're getting the connections.
You're supposed to do what for an Estes method?
You're a conduit.
Just like in an Estes method.
I didn't know I was supposed to do anything. Nobody told me.
So I basically say, hey, I'm ready to get started. We're going to open up the circle. And if you want to give me hi, hey, or hello, so I know that you're ready to start, because I'm ready to start. And I'll throw the dice out. And typically I will get hi, hey, or hello, one of the 3 words. And then I'll start asking the next question is, are you male, female, boy, girl, he, she, it just kind of run down a list. I say, or can you give me a name? and I'll throw it and I'll get any of those answers. And sometimes I'll get a name and I'll just start directly communicating with the spirit and having a full blown conversation with them. As Shelley describes it the best way, once I open the circle, I throw them and it's basically like paranormal boggle at that point.
Okay. So it's still like up to your interpretation, right?
Yes.
What word do you pick up first? Because there could be multiple words, right?
There can be. I typically go with the first one that I see and what feels right. So there's also the element of feeling that goes into it as well. I try to lean into what is my body telling me? When I put those letters together, is that what they're trying to say? If it doesn't feel right, and Ryan and Shelley see me do it many times, I'll scrap it, and it's almost like immediately the next word pops up.
Wow.
And I go, this one feels right. And when I select that one, then it's like the conversation continues.
You're like
in that direction.
I knew it.
Well, and the goal whenever you throw them is to use as many of the dice as you can to get your answer. You've got 13. You could make 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. And I believe Blake had gotten, whenever we went to the Vapors.
You said there's 13 dice?
13 dice. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Blake actually got 2 or 3 words in one whenever he was asking about the police raiding the place. Really? And so that is the goal, is to use as many of the dice as you can for your answer. Sometimes there's nothing.
Wow.
And if you get 2 or 3 times with nothing, usually the spirit's gone and they're not willing to talk anymore.
I've never heard a spirit. My dog is like very.
I thought you were farting or something. I was not even going to mention it.
She is. So my female dog runs my house. Okay. And
as she should.
And she is letting one of the male dogs know about it. So I apologize. Damn it.
You're
my
all
dog
right.
Totally killed my train of thought, man.
That's all right. We were talking about the spirit dice and the answers you get.
Right. I've never actually used the spirit dice, and this is actually the first time I've really heard of them. Where do you get them from?
So Broadhead Manor sells their own sets, and I highly encourage anybody who's just looking to get some. You can go to Broadhead or contact Bill through the Broadhead page. I know that Ron makes them. I'd be willing to ship them. They're a great product. Don't get me wrong. I use another set right now. That is not to say that there is anything wrong with the Broadhead set. I started thinking in my head, I wanted to design my own because I wanted to feel that deeper of connection to it.
Right.
Sure.
And so me and Shelley sat down and I told her, I said, this is where the geek part of me like jumps in. I'm like, let's look at how many times the letters are used in the dictionary and let's coordinate the dice to that. So that way, if I have a word that has 4 E's in it, I can get all 4 E's. I can spell the entire word out instead of having to possibly guess if I'm missing one of those letters. Yeah. And that has worked out for me personally.
So I made him
this
a custom set the way he wants them. And I do make them, but I never make any, every set is different because I always change 1 or 2 things in each set because why would they all be the same? They're all different people getting them. Why shouldn't they all be different?
This is the set that Shelley got me. Very, very, in my opinion, they're very well done. They're a little more primitive, obviously, than what's printed.
Yes, the ones from Broadhead Manor are very fancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like this. I like these a bit more because I was the one that designed the alphabet behind this and what letters are on this. Like Shelley didn't deviate from anything that I said.
What do you mean designed the alphabet? There's 26 letters, buddy.
Correct, but there is no need for 3 Qs. There is no need.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, right, because it's kind of a waste.
Right, because basically what I did was I went in and I figured out how many times each letter appears in every word in the English dictionary. Okay, and I said, this is that percentage of the letter E. Okay, let's take how many faces of the dice do I have? How many E's do I need?
Right.
And then that way I go off a percentage. And when I did that and I did the math across the board, the new set versus the Broadhead set, the set that I designed, fit better for me because it correlated with the percentages in how many times the letters appear in the English dictionary.
It'll let you know how many you needed.
Exactly.
Yes. And Michael, I know from talking to you at Rock Island, you are a fellow D&D nerd, so it's just more dice to add to your collection. So.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah. I've been playing D&D since I was 12 years old. I'm 41 now. I'll be 42 on December 3rd. 1, 2, 3.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know that's one of the. I don't know. I know that Ryan, you've played D&D. Shelly, Blake.
No, I was way too cool for that.
Fair.
Wrong.
No.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. I get it.
I had something to do on Friday night,
I feel you.
so I have to play it with you.
It totally makes sense. So believe it or not, I'm an outlier with D&D. I am very personable. I'm in decent enough shape that nobody believes me when I tell them that I'm a D&D player, but I have been my whole life. And I think it's actually helped with transitioning, I guess, from between comedy and paranormal investigating, because it allows you to kind of expand your imagination. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, and your live may have ended, I'm not sure, but
No, it's still going. It doesn't end until we end it.
okay. Anybody that's watching, you need imagination. Okay, because imagination is what is allowing you to think beyond just X's and O's, right? And I think if you've never played D&D, if you've never experienced that, or any game system like that, any type of role playing system, I highly recommend it. It's a lot like watching a movie, only you get to play the part of the actors on the screen. And while that sounds like that may not be like anything you're interested into, Ryan can attest to this. It really does help your critical thinking.
It does.
Right? It really does. And it kind of helps you think differently than what you would normally think.
Right.
And when you get into instances where you're like, okay, well, I need to not be myself right now. Right? For example, I'm a comedian. When I am at a manor and I'm interacting, like the first episode, I do the psychomantium room.
Yeah,
I
that's
call it
fun.
psychomantis, but I cannot begin to tell you how amazing that was of an experience because of my imagination, right? Because it allowed me to kind of expand. It allowed me, because I'm already used to being able to get out of my own shell, right? By role playing, by gaming. So being able to say, okay, I need to, even though I'm looking at myself, anybody that's done this, I don't know, have you guys done a psychomantium room?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at yourself, right? In a weird roundabout way. You're looking at yourself. It's just you, right? And at some point, you need to say, I need to expand who I am for this to work. I need to expand who I am so I can accept other outcomes. And I felt like role playing, honestly, has really helped me accept that easier. So anybody that is in the paranormal field, it sounds weird, but please go out and pick up like a Pathfinder book and just run a game, because it will change your idea on the way that you actually approach an investigation. It really will help you out so much.
And it's damn
I
fun.
prefer to role play in costume.
You can do that too. You can do that too. If you're playing D&D, you can totally do
I don't need to play D&D. Just give me a costume. We'll have fun.
Okay, so we go to the supernatural soiree, and I'm dressed like Wolverine, right?
Right.
They did not make that costume for you to go pee in. I need somebody's help. So every time I have to pee, I have to drag somebody with me to the men's
You need a bathroom buddy.
Yes.
It's these damn adamantium claws. I can't do it.
Because they have to like unzip the whole back, Oh, it was the worst.
You got to get naked.
It may have attributed, actually, damn it. I just realized I had a blowout. All I had to do was move my underwear.
Yeah.
Dang it. Oh, I'm listening to that now? Man.
I guess those D&D critical thinking skills didn't come into play right then, did it?
Okay, to be fair, I had like 15 shots at that point. So
Shit.
critical thinking was gone. At that point, it was just critical. Okay. Critical, I got to the bathroom in time. Yeah. Yes. So
Yes.
it's been a minute. A minute. It's been an hour, 20 minutes. I don't know how long you guys like to stay on for. You guys have been amazing. I could keep talking if you want. If you're done, I get it. I'm sure you all have some type of family that's missing you
No,
right now.
we don't like them.
Perfect.
No, it's fine.
Because I have questions for you.
Oh,
Okay.
that's-
If
hey,
you want
that's
to play, we're
different.
here to play.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, yeah. If you want to
What's
play
up?
Wait,
interviewer,
we need to
for a
have
minute.
Michael take another shot, though.
Oh, sure. I can do that.
Twist his arm, apparently.
Yes. So,
Does that we
one,
got to
are you guys
participate,
in-
right?
What's that?
Oh,
We're gonna play.
We're gonna
All
play.
right.
We're gonna play. I got it.
We're
Here we go.
gonna
all
play.
right.
I know you can't see my outhouse, but I promise I'll show you that there is.
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a
You
curve
better
here.
show us. Yeah, make sure you get some more in there. Yeah,
It's hard because I'm running low, so
that's all right.
Cheers.
Salute.
it actually. Oh,
Oh,
Don't
you
spill it,
you spilled a
fool.
little bit.
All right.
I'm gonna need a napkin. Okay, here we go. Cheers. Outhouse.
Oh, child. All right. All right. If you would like to ask a question, go ahead. We'll switch the tables. Go ahead.
Perfect. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, hopefully this
We don't
doesn't
usually
mess
let
up
the
my-
guests do this, but go ahead.
Okay, so my first question is: are you all located in Indiana?
No,
No,
Texas.
Texas.
Where at in Texas?
I'm in
DFW, Austin,
East Texas.
Longview.
DFW. Somebody lives in the airport.
No,
Austin.
that's
Yeah.
just if I were to tell you exactly where I lived, you go,
Okay.
where's that? It's by DFW, the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
That's great to know. I can't wait to see you guys soon because my co-star Mary Lynn Bass, she lives in Burleson.
I know right where
Oh,
Burleson
okay.
is.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
dude.
and there is a bridge called the Goatman Bridge.
Goatman's
Oh,
Bridge.
yeah.
I will take you. It's in Denton. I've investigated there over 40 times.
Perfect.
You come with me.
Yeah.
And as you may know, I like to walk around as the Goat Man. I
You
don't know if
come
know
on.
this,
Oh, hell
But
yeah.
I do. I have a Goat Man costume. In fact, I was going to wear it at Rock Island, but there was no air conditioning.
No,
there
there was
wasn't.
not.
There was that.
Oh,
I
God,
didn't,
it was
put, I
hot
didn't
as
put it
hell.
on. I only put on like the hat at
I
the
saw
very
you in the
end.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm gonna die, dude. I'm gonna die. My balls are gonna be down to my ankles. It's gonna be awful. So I didn't do it.
Peel them off with a spatula.
Right. Okay. So have you seen? Now that I know where you are, have you investigated the Black Swan Inn?
Yes.
I haven't, but
I have
Shelly
not.
has.
You're dead to me. Okay. Blake?
I'm dead to you too. I have not.
But Shelly, you have.
I have. Yes.
Okay. That's beautiful. So inside, unfortunately, Blake, Ryan, I apologize. You're not gonna. This thing gonna make any sense to you, but
It's okay.
when you go, this will. My very first episode is at the Black Swan Inn for
Okay.
Pair with the Normal. It's on TV. It's on right now. Pair with the Normal. Stream BeaconTV.com. Okay. Use Paranorm10. That's a promo code. It'll get you 10% off.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you
Product
know.
placement here.
So first off, there's a dog that lives on premises, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw the dog. It's a beautiful white dog. Her name is Willow. That is my sister's name.
Okay.
Okay. First weird coincidence. Second, if you go in towards the psychomantium room, right?
Mhm.
There's a seance room.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through the hallway, there is a painting of a woman in blue.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful painting, and it's just very ornate. In 1919, somewhere in between that range, my great aunt became famous, won a national award for that painting.
What?
Really?
I have so it is a copy. So that painting is not the original. My painting is not the original. It's a copy. She won it for a copy, but it is an oil painting. Hers is an oil
Okay.
painting.
Okay.
And she won it as she was 15 years old, 16 years old. And that's when she won the award because it was so incredibly alike the original painting.
Wow.
I have that painting in my home.
Oh, wow.
I walk into that room. I've never in my life seen that painting before, ever. I knew it was a copy, right? I knew somebody else. I knew she had copied it from somewhere, but I had never seen that painting anywhere in my life.
Right.
And I walk in there. There's a dog named Willow, and there was a painting made by my great aunt Olga.
That's nuts.
I mean,
You've had connections and you didn't even realize it.
At what point is it no longer a coincidence?
Right.
At what point do you decide that maybe this is the path I was meant to be on?
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, that's pretty crazy, right?
That's a pretty crazy coincidence. Yeah.
Extremely unusual. Yeah.
Shelley, when you went and you did that investigation, where did you go inside Black Swan Inn?
The seance room at the end was fantastic. It gave us a lot of good responses on a spirit box. It was one lady's birthday, and I was running the spirit box, and I said, "Can you guys wish her a happy birthday?" And through the spirit box, there was no fewer than 16 different voices that said, "Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy," and they wouldn't quit. And I said, "Okay, thank you. We've got it. You wished her happy birthday." And they were like, and then they went silent. And then one smart ass one came through and went, "Happy birthday." I'm like, "We're done with this. Time to be done." The seance room was probably my favorite. And then we actually went down to the bridge. And the bridge was interesting. Now, granted, there's power lines over it, so you do get a lot of interference. Go ahead.
I didn't get to go to where's the bridge?
You have to actually walk off the property, past the monument, and go a little bit down the road to the bridge. And the bridge, we actually captured.
It was raining heavily, so I didn't get to go.
You didn't do that. Okay. But on the bridge, while there are power lines, you get a lot of interference. We actually caught a couple of really good EVPs. And it's because this bridge is notorious for people having wrecks on it and running off into the creek and everything that's there.
I do remember her saying that to me.
Yeah. And we actually caught disembodied screams on EVPs, and we caught a man who was yelling, "Help, help, I'm drowning."
That was Ryan.
Probably. So that area was very good. And the other place that we went out near the milk shed,
Milk Duds.
Yeah, that's close enough. Anyway,
the shed where they do the boudoir photos.
Yes, where they do the boudoir photos now. The last time I've only investigated once since I did the boudoir photos there, but before it was just empty. I mean, it had just like stuff in it. You had to kind of go crawling through it. Is before they redid that, and yeah, it is creepy. Yeah, and that one we got a lot of strange noises that didn't belong, like you would expect to hear because it's outside, things scurrying around. It's outside, you expect to hear that, but we heard noises we didn't expect to hear. So yeah, it's an interesting place.
We didn't get to investigate there because there was a massive storm. Massive. So, but she had unlocked it for us. And the agreement was when we left that we would lock everything back up.
Right.
So I had to go by myself and lock that back up. So I took video my entire trip down there. And when I get around the corner and there's like these, it's like an open field and then like there's woods that kind of surround it. You could see in the video, I'll see if I can send you guys the
send it to me. Yeah.
You can actually see what looks like an orb leave a tree and like whip out towards me.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, shit.
Yes. I had to go into that. I guess it used to be like I think she said it was like a, I know I'm not going to say the word right, but like a milkery, like where they like.
A dairy. It's a dairy.
That's a word.
It's a dairy. It's a dairy.
Link is dead. Yes.
Yeah, great. You killed my co-host.
I mean, a dairy. Yeah.
It was a dairy. Yeah.
But I guess from what she was telling me, like there was somebody that like had killed somebody there, and it was like done in like a very vicious, narcissistic way. So you could just kind of feel that when you went in there, and I was like, I cannot wait to get out of here. But they've got like, if you've never been there, Blake and Ryan, it's amazing. Have you ever been to Yorktown?
Oh yeah.
God, Yorktown is our evolution story.
Yeah.
I've investigated Yorktown. This next time we go back will be my 18th time.
So the very next episode of Pair with the Normal takes place at Yorktown.
Love it.
Most of the activity takes place, and now nobody knows this, so this is an exclusive through EVP, okay?
All right.
Most of the activity actually takes place prior to us filming.
How interesting.
Interesting.
Yes. So the gentleman opens the door for me.
Eddie.
Eddie.
That's Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie.
I love Eddie, man. What a
I do
cool
too.
guy.
Yeah. Super
However,
nice guy.
Eddie's also an asshole because he gets me in and he walks me all the way to the back to where the coffin is, and they do
The
the sermon.
chapel. In the chapel.
You already got to use these big words, okay?
Hey, we've collectively investigated there over 30
Over
times.
30 times.
We know the
Right.
entire building like
Okay,
the back of our
perfect.
hands.
Yeah.
So again, it is raining heavily, so heavily that the basement is actually completely flooded.
The boiler room area definitely would
Yes.
be, yeah.
So we cannot go to the basement. So we're basically stuck on the second floor. Or the first floor, I guess, however you want to look at it.
First floor.
Yeah.
So we get in there and he goes, yeah, these fucking ghosts don't pay no rent. I don't give a do whatever you want. And then he goes, okay, bye. And then leaves.
That sounds like Eddie.
That's Eddie.
Yeah.
The place explodes. We hear screaming. Things are thrown.
Mm-hmm.
We hear footsteps,
Mhm.
Yep.
running, slamming.
Yep.
It gets to the point where the entire crew is so concerned that we literally stop everything because we're trying to set up to film. We stop everything and we start going through the entire building just to make sure that there was nobody on premises.
Yep.
And there's not.
There's not.
Yep, there's not.
Nope.
So after they go through the whole building, they find out there's not. We say, hey, we don't speak for him. Sorry about that. Things calm down. To this day, I have to say if any of your viewers decide to go visit any place, it can be kind of expensive, but please pay the money and go visit Yorktown Hospital before it's gone, because it is definitely in
It's
It's in
disrepair.
rough shape. Yeah.
yes, it is disheveled.
Yeah.
So
please.
let me tell you, Michael, the last time we went, this one of our friends who goes
What
with
do
us,
you mean,
Chad
went
Blondell,
potty
and
or
I.
what?
Huh?
Last time you went potty?
No, the last time we went there.
The last time
okay.
The last time you went.
Yes, the
Yeah.
last time we went.
What am I
Don't
supposed to
have
take?
I don't know. Take another drink. Last time we went, one of our friends, Chad Blondell, and I, we were doing a dual Estes method. And one of the first things I hear in the Estes method is I'll make her bleed. And I'm thinking, because what I've been hearing has already been targeting someone. And so I was telling them to watch out. Well, we get out and done with the Estes method. I'm not feeling right. Ryan takes me over to the grass, and I do this. I have allergies, so I'm always like wiping my nose. And I wiped my nose, and I was like, dude, I had a nosebleed, and my nose just started
No
running.
way.
It told me it would make me.
Wait,
Go ahead.
Shelly, we could give an exclusive. I've actually still got the video still in the studio from last time we filmed.
You want to show
you?
it? Okay, show it to Michael.
It's one piece.
Why not? It's one piece.
Yeah,
Exclusive,
so
Michael, here
to
you go.
give you here's our exclusive, because we're getting ready to release our part 2 to Yorktown Memorial Hospital on Paraflix December the 12th. So
Okay.
none of our viewers have seen this either.
Yeah, they haven't seen this.
One piece, people, but she just set up the story. So here you go. This is what happened.
Am I fucking bleeding?
Come on, get on the ground. Like, don't
No.
stop.
Am I
Get off
fucking
the
bleeding?
concrete. Come here. Roll it.
I'm
You are.
fucking bleeding.
Shelly's bleeding.
I'm
Yeah.
bleeding.
Your nose bleeding? Let me see. Not yeah, your nose is bleeding. Your nostril's bleeding. Shelly's nose is bleeding.
Somebody recording?
Yep. Yeah, there it is. I'm bleeding. Yay. Yay, blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank whoever pointed out nostril.
That was me.
Excellent job, sir.
Yeah.
Because somebody just said nose, and you're like, no, nostril.
Nostril.
Yeah.
He was correcting me. Ryan's all about
Perfect.
the accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
So it
are
threatened
you
me
known
at
for
the beginning.
nosebleeds?
I do have allergies, and I probably have about 3 or 4 nosebleeds a year.
Okay.
But I had not had one probably not
Nothing.
know how long.
Right.
And it just, for it to say I'll make her bleed. And that's what it said, I'll make her bleed. And then
Right before
right
we
after
went
we're
outside.
done,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then just my nose starts bleeding. So it was like, yep.
So here's some more inside information.
All
Ooh,
right.
I'm here for it.
My wife, her step grandmother worked at Yorktown.
What?
As a
Really?
nurse. Yes.
No.
So you
way.
have a connection. Okay, Michael, would you
crazy,
like to
right?
come and investigate Yorktown with us?
I would love to.
Come on,
Are you
brother.
kidding?
We will send you some information. We have
Yeah,
one
and send me
coming
some
up.
dates. That way I can figure out flights, and we'll come down and film it. And I would also like to say this. I realize that you're on Paraflix and we are on Beacon TV.
That's okay. We're friends.
That's fine.
I've met Miss Natalie Jones. Absolutely love her. She's a fantastic person. Please, if you have one, that doesn't mean that you can't have the other. Okay.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
I just want to stress it to your viewers out there who think that maybe there's like a weird turf war or something along those
No.
lines. There absolutely is not. It takes all of us. There is 350 million people in America alone. I promise you, there's plenty of people out there for both to exist. So please, if you have paid for one, please feel free to pay for the other and use both. I promise there's going to be great content on both.
Yep.
Right.
Don't cancel one or the other.
Yeah.
And a lot of cross promotion. Well, Michael,
Yes.
we have kept you for a very long time, and we appreciate you. Would you like to tell them where they can find you and how they can become a part of Beacon TV?
Oh, right. So please stream BeaconTV.com. You can do that via your web browser. If you do it through the web browser, you can actually use a code PARANORM10.
They're excited.
Very excited. Paranorm 10. Whoa! Paranorm 10. And you'll save 10%. I recommend doing the annual because if you just do the monthly, you'll only get 10% off the first month only. So try to do an annual. Do the premium. I think Para with the Normal is one of two that actually have premium content already out. And I've got both Speakeasy and I give a mine tour in Virginia City.
Oh, I love it.
So if you want to learn about a mine in Virginia City, completely wrong and inaccurate, watch this. You're going to love it. Okay.
And Michael, what's the code again?
What's that?
What's the code again, please?
Paranorm 10.
Perfect.
Paranorm 10. Okay. And after that, you can actually download to your phone, your TV, Roku. It's called Beacon TV, and it's a B with what looks like a lighthouse.
Right.
There are other apps that are called Beacon TV, so please do not get confused and accidentally buy yourself a subscription to, I don't know, something weird. So
The big red bee that looks like it has a lighthouse in it.
yes. And you can follow me on Facebook, Michael Gagliano, Gagliano, or Pair with the Normal. I'm also on Instagram, Pair with the Normal, and I am on Tickety Talk. Yes. So I try to post to all three, but mostly Facebook and Instagram are my main go-tos. But I do use TikTok too. I
stalk you furiously on Facebook.
I try to post actively on Facebook. I think it's important. And thank you, Shelly, Ryan, Blake. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad I got to meet you.
Yeah.
I felt like I told Shelly this. It felt like I've just known you guys forever. That we hadn't just
Appreciate
met at Illinois. Is it Illinois?
Rock Island.
Yeah, Rock Island, Illinois. I felt like I've just known you guys forever. Will you be at the Lone Star Paracon in February?
No, we will not. But
What
that's
the
okay.
heck?
Not yet, anyway.
We will find you soon. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Okay, because that's in February.
That's
If
in
you need
February.
to, put you in touch with the Kling Bros. We will be hosting in Shirts, Texas, which I think is part of
Not
like
far
San
from me at
Antonio.
SHERTZ shirts.
Mhm.
Yes.
We'll be hosting the VIP bowling session. So
Oh, cool.
Yay.
yes. So we got to
All
get you guys
righty.
started. Okay.
Absolutely. And with that, Blake,
Absolutely.
why don't you tell them everything they need to know?
Absolutely. Well, for us, y'all can catch After Dark with EVP seasons 1 and 2 on PSYDkicks Paranormal Plus, because season 3 is currently in the middle of dropping every Thursday. This week we have McIntyre Villa coming up for episode 4, so make sure you go and check that out. You can watch Paraflix on Amazon Fire, Roku TV, Apple TV, iOS, or Google Play. Use our link that is either in the show notes or on our Facebook post tomorrow morning, After Dark 25 for 25% off your annual subscription. And that link is going to be our link tree, which is also going to include our Patreon page. Our Patreon is the fastest and easiest way to help directly support the show, and that is just I cannot talk in these last 10 minutes.
That's all right.
You need to say that all again.
No.
Okay, he's got it.
For just $5 a month, you'll unlock.
Can you start with, "Hi, I'm Blake Smith. I'm an alcoholic."
I'm never going to get through this closing.
How about we just say, why don't you go like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page? Ryan, take it away.
We'd like to thank our guest again, Michael Gagliano, for coming on and hanging out with us all night. And I'm Ryan Roberts, and these are my partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Miss Shelley Pruitt. And we will see y'all next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I got to get to the clips.
Oh, Lord. It's fine.